Hi, my name is Tom Scott. I'm a therapist in the Virginia Beach area. If you're watching this video, you probably are considering whether you could possibly be a sex addict or trying to prove to someone that you're not, maybe even yourself. You probably got here in one of two ways. Either you looked at your own behavior, didn't like what you were seeing, and decided that you needed to make a change. Or some of you may have gotten here because somebody confronted you in an embarrassing situation and you're doing the research. All sexual addiction involves objectifying women. Whoever is the object of your sexual addiction isn't somebody you think about as a person. These are cardboard figures. In real life, these people have mothers and fathers, may have children, they have friends. You're not thinking about this. You're thinking about somebody who's going to give you a climax. And all sexual addiction takes place in secrecy. You don't talk to your best friends about your sexual addiction. Your loved ones don't know about it. You hide it from them. And often you lie about it. It also involves obsessive thinking that intrudes on your life, distracts you from all sorts of activities, and eventually leads to compulsive actions. These are actions that you may not have very good control over, and they may escalate, and you become preoccupied and distracted even more. Now, I'm going to put a graphic on the screen here, but let me say before you even read it, not all of it's going to apply to you. None of this information applies to everybody. But if some of it applies to you, then you have room for concern. And you need to be honest with yourself and really look at what your behavior is and be honest about whether you've got a room for concern. So how does this work? Essentially, it starts with the fantasy. We hold on to the fantasy or obsess with the fantasy, and then we eventually take some action in service of that fantasy. In the case of pornography or a chat room or a live website chat, the usual outcome is masturbation. In the case of, say, a meetup or a pickup or a prostitute, there's an actual sex act involved with the object of the fantasy. And of course, in any case, what we're dealing with is a climax. You may not think of it this way, but the climax rewards the behavior that precedes it. So in rewarding it, it strengthens it. And that leads to a number of possibilities of things that you're going to be headed toward. Of course, none of those things are good. And what we're usually talking about is an escalation in time, in obsessiveness, in kinkiness, in riskiness, possibly money going into places that are not exactly where you want to be putting money, and quite frankly, it could lead to illegal activity. As somebody who's worked with many, many sex offenders in my life, I can tell you that many of them started out in this very same way that you might perceive as quite innocent, and if they went back in time, they would tell you they never saw it coming. In conclusion, you may or may not think that you're a sex addict after viewing this video, and quite frankly, whether you meet the technical definition or not, that's not really that important. The main thing is I'm hoping I've opened your eyes and made you think and made you consider some things that maybe you didn't think about before. In any case, in my next video, I'm going to talk to you about some coping strategies for sexual addiction and sources of help that are out there. Thank you very much. Bye.